drivers, start your engines!
As the command has been given, we'll do this a little bit differently for the NRSL IROC series as field rolls off. Also, this is also only a 12-car field. As field rolls off, field set by a random draw. We'll go through the field in case you've forgotten who is in what. So on the front row for this one, in car 89, representing the Reebok Truck Series, is Jonathan Zorline. In the 02, representing the Budweiser All Pro Series, is Jessica Shelton. In the 43, representing the Duracell Cup Series, is Chris Dollarton. In the 42, representing the Coke Vanilla Cup Series, is Mark George. In the 33 is Logan York, representing an abbreviation I'm not going to attempt to try ever again. I think it's what became the Jerky Pro Truck Series, but and in the 59, representing the Universal Orlando Cup Series, is Zachary Fitzwater. Dylan Jacobs in car 78 will represent the Marvel Studios Cup Series, and he'll start alongside RJ Bishop in the number 98, representing the NRSL Outback Series. And on the final row for this one, Cole Deaver in car number 3 though, representing the Castrol GTX Cup Series, is Cole Deaver. He'll start alongside the 32 of Johnny Gardner, representing, I think, what became the Digital Storm Cup Series. In the final row will be Time Pollard, representing the NRSL Hooters Series, and he'll start alongside Ryder Smith, who's representing the Insomniac Elite Series. This is probably the final season where we'll actually have this many diverse champions, or where it'll be series champions, basically, as the green flag is out for 30 laps here at Daytona. There's the idea being circulated that there's going to be a little bit more exclusivity as to what is used for the series, as Dollarton already makes the move inside for second there on Jonathan Zorline. Should note, interesting thing here, Zorline is actually in the 89 because both he and RJ Bishop got their they got into this using a number 98, so that is why Zorline is using 89, because it's the reverse of 98. As Dollarton going for the race lead, I should point out, you do not get a bonus point just for leading lap. The way that this will work, bonus points will be handed out to the 3 drivers who lead the most laps, based on how that goes. So if you lead the most laps, you get a certain amount of points. I don't remember off the top of my head. If you lead the second most laps, you'll get a certain amount of points, and if you lead the third most laps, you'll get, I think it's 1 point. As Fitzwater now going for the top spot, Dollarton did lead the lap. Fitzwater with help from RJ Bishop, and that's Cole Deaver behind him as well. Bishop makes the move on Fitzwater down the back straightaway. Try to go through things as I see fit. This is going to pause a little bit. Okay, so the point system that we've used so far for this exclusively, I can't talk. RJ Bishop leads lap 2 though. What I was going to say is the point system that we've used for all 3 seasons so far of this. If you lead the most laps, you'll get 5 points. If you lead the second most laps, you'll get 3. And if you lead the third most laps, you'll get a single point. Now, for winning the race, you'll get 21 points. Second place will get 17. Third, 14. 12 points for fourth. 10 for fifth as Dylan Jacobs goes for the top spot. It is 9 points for sixth. 8 for seventh. 7 points for eighth. 6 points for ninth. Nice. And then, actually, I should say just from 10, it counts all the way down by 1 point per position. That's the way I'll make that. 7 points for 12, all that good stuff. As Ryder Smith now going for the top spot. As he goes into turn number 1. Sorry, I had to try and get this situated on my screen a little bit. Normally I wouldn't have to do this. As Ryder Smith down the back straightaway, still 2 by 2 all the way through the field. Now 3 wide here for a moment with Shelton, Zorline, and Fitzwater. They get it back to 2 wide. Meanwhile, Mark George on the outside in danger of maybe losing the draft if he can't get it back to the bottom. Looks like he should be still in the draft. Question mark on that. As Dylan Jacobs actually leads the lap off turn number 4, getting the momentum there with that outside line. As Jacobs trying to use the outside line to his advantage, but it will be Ryder Smith that gets the lead off turn number 2 momentarily. Mark George still trying to figure out which line he wants to run in. Shelton again trying to make it 3 wide down the back straightaway into turn 3. Trying to find a way around the 43 of Chris Dollarton, but not successful on that at all. Mark George now has found a way inside of Fitzwater for what would be the 11th position if he can get that job. And at the line yet again, Dylan Jacobs leads the lap. So Ryder Smith again getting denied the chance to lead a lap here at Daytona. Now, starting lineup for this determined by a random draw, but the rest of them will kind of be in inverse order. What inverse order I haven't quite figured out entirely. I know that, okay, so race 2 will most likely do inverse finishing order of this race. And then for race 4, we'll do inverse order of the points. I know that for a fact. As George back to last, Dylan Jacobs leading another lap. 3 laps in a row led by that 78. As Fitzwater makes the move 3 wide. Inside of Dollarton, the move Shelton was not able to complete is the one that Fitzwater is able to do. You see Mark George still hanging back there right now, just feeling his way around these cars. All the series spec, all these cars are the same. All that matters is the driver. Deaver's still now stuck on that outside line 3 wide. It is Dollarton, though, in the middle, looking for a way out of there as now Zorline is the last. Or, well, he's battling with Mark George, I should say, for last. Fitzwater continuing to make that move on the inside line. Now he's inside of Logan York. Shelton goes to that middle line. Dollarton goes to the inside. Fitzwater shaping up a move on the 32 of Johnny Gardner now. Zorline makes the move 3 wide on Shelton and Deaver. Meanwhile, Dylan Jacobs continues to pace the field here at Daytona as no one seems to be able to get a move done on that car. Ryder Smith just continuously there, but not able to make the move stick, or complete the move, I should say. Time Pollard still on that outside line after starting dead last on the field. Fitzwater now up to 5th. Zorline trying to make the move work on Chris Dollarton, but no help for that 89 down the back straightaway. Is that going to mean something for him into turn 3? No, it won't. In fact, Mark George is going to make it 2 rows of 3 as he goes 3 wide on Shelton and Deaver. Deaver getting out of that. Should be able to fall back to that bottom line if he wants to. Right now, content to just go to the inside of Shelton as Shelton nearly gets the wall off the tri-oval. And Dylan Jacobs continues to lead. 2 rows of 3. Zorline and Mark George starting to work their way towards the front as they put Fitzwater and Dollarton into the middle. And I think this is what Dylan Jacobs is loving to see right now, because that inside line just cannot get formed up to make a move on the 78. Mark George peeking 4 wide, possibly here at Daytona. Zorline, that's not a move that will work! Trouble! Zorline gets hit by Logan York as well. and the caution flag will fly. Caution laps will count in the series as Dylan Jacobs leads under the caution, and that was a move that was not going to work. So Zorline now going to have to take his car down to the attention of his crew. Logan York with damage to his 33 IROC car. Hard to tell. There's a little bit of a dent to the 33, and thankfully they didn't stack up there. So with that, we will take a short look at this, but it's probably going to be pretty self-explanatory because we were looking at that one as it happened. Taking a look at what happened, you see they're staggered 4 wide because Mark George is there. Zorline just comes up the track into Fitzwater, and I can't really fault Fitzy too much here. Fitzwater gets the 89 turned back around and right into the path of Logan York. Nowhere for that 33 car to go as he gets damage done to the nose of his True Value car. Shelton taking to the apron there, but I don't think she gained any spots in that, so I'm pretty sure she'll be fine. But it is Zorline and Logan York with the damage. We'll have to see if they can continue and to what capacity as we'll go back to the restart. And we are back. Unsurprisingly, Logan York and Jonathan Zorline pit underneath the caution, but a little bit of a surprise to me, RJ Bishop also came down pit lane. And he was actually the car that spent the most time on pit lane of the 3. 14 seconds, not even taking tires for that 98 car as Dylan Jacobs continues to lead over Ryder Smith, Johnny Gardner, Time Pollard, Mark George up to 5th after riding in 12th place for most of this race so far. Cole Deaver in 6th, Zachary Fitzwater, Jessica Shelton, Chris Dollerton, the cars that did not pit. Logan York, Jonathan Zorline, and RJ Bishop now the cars with question marks now for this restart, as we'll have to see whether or not there's any damage that will affect the pace of the 33 and the 89. You can see the dent on the hood there of the 89 car. You don't see one so much on the 33, and I'm not quite sure why RJ Bishop had to pit. Well, he might have been unless he was the car on the outside of that, because there was a car up there. I didn't see who it was, so that might have been it. As the green flag is back out here at Daytona for IROC 3. Johnny Gardner makes the move quickly inside for 2nd. Fitzwater trying to make the move on Cole Deaver. And RJ Bishop quickly trying to make a move on Jonathan Zorline, who definitely looks to be off the pace in that 89 car. So Zorline now just going to be looking like he's riding around trying to score some extra points if they can become available to him. RJ also catching up to Logan York, who isn't having the best of times trying to keep up with the draft either. Can RJ Bishop get around and pull the 33 up there with them? Or is pitting going to be a major downfall to that 98's contention for this race? As Shelton, Dollerton are side by side. Ryder Smith got kicked up apparently, as did Johnny Gardner, because it's now Time Pollard up into 2nd, finding his favorite drafting buddy so far today in that 78 car. Mark George trying to make the move for 2nd. Jacobs trying to figure out which line he wants to block. Decides, I guess, on the outside line, even though Time Pollard goes backwards. Trying to block both lines. Is that going to work for Dylan Jacobs? It might if Cole Deaver is going to make it 3 wide like he does on Fitzwater. Mark George there's now trying to get clear. Dollerton's in the middle, 3 wide with Shelton and Gardner on the outside of that. Ryder Smith trying to find his way back to the bottom, as it is a 9-car pack with RJ Bishop looking for a caution to try and bring him back into this one, because the car doesn't look like it's off the pace. Just got stuck behind 2 damaged cars on the restart. Dollerton still in the middle, though, of Ryder Smith and Gardner now. Make that of Ryder Smith and Fitzwater as he comes off turn number 2. Ryder Jacobs able to control both lines right now, though, as Time Pollard, with very little, if any, help on that outside line, is holding firm on the outside of Mark George. Cole Deaver trying to help the 42. Will get by the 21 here off turn number 4. Here comes Shelton as well in that 02 car. As Dollarton on the outside gets out of the middle now. Ryder Smith trying to join that pack on the inside. And Shelton's going to make it 3 wide for the 3rd position, actually. Off turn number 2, still 3 wide for 3rd for the time being. Mark George trying to look for a way to catch back up to that 78 of Dylan Jacobs. Ironically enough, I mentioned we'd give out points to the to the drivers who led the 3 most laps. But I only think we've had 2 leaders so far today, with Dylan Jacobs dominating so far in this Daytona race. And he has a gap. That's a full car length gap right now over Shelton. Don't usually want to see a gap like that if you're the leader at Daytona. Fitzwater makes it 3 wide with Deaver and Mark George now on that outside line, as it is George and Pollard who find each other up on that outside line. Deaver clears Fitzwater for the time being. Ryder Smith back up to 3rd after getting shuffled out on that restart. Gardner held firm with the 18 as well, as now Gardner's back up to 4th. Deaver up to 5th. Ryder Smith looks for 2nd on Shelton. Is that going to be a wise move, though, with 11 laps to go here at Daytona? Can Ryder Smith get a run on Dylan Jacobs? It looks like it's been the 18 and the 78 as the 2 dominant cars of the race so far. Gardner makes a move on the 18. Where does the 78 go? He goes to block the 18. Deaver tries to make it 3 wide down the back straightaway. As Gardner tried to throw the block unsuccessfully, here comes Time Pollard with help from Dollarton on the inside line as they're 3 wide for 2nd off turn 4. At the line, 10 laps to go. Dylan Jacobs, the only car single file in this pack, unless you maybe include Mark George. But George not wanting to be single file for long, as he's trying to find a way to get alongside Zachary Fitzwater in that 59 car. Deaver trying to make a run off turn 2. Gardner clears the pack up as he clears Smith, pulls up to the outside line. Will he pull back down low to block the 3? No, he doesn't. Deaver's there as they go through 3 and 4. He's got the 21 following close behind in that orange and black car. Nine laps to go. This time by, it is still Dylan Jacobs leading the field over the battle for 2nd of Deaver and Gardner. Time Pollard trying to push him through. 4 cars in each line on that in this group of 8 trying to chase down the 78. Deaver clears the pack. Jacobs tries to block the 3 by just a little bit. Right now, if they keep this up, there's not going to be anyone that can fight that 78. Time Pollard now clears, or goes to the inside of Deaver. He'll clear off turn number 3. He has help from Dollarton for the time being. Does he make a move? No, he can't. Yes, he does, actually, at the line, side by side for the race lead between Dylan Jacobs and Time Pollard. Into turn 1, 21 trying to clear. He has the 78 cleared. Battle for 2nd now with Dollarton. Jacobs loses his help in the dominant car of the day. Now he will have to play catch up. Dollarton clears down the back straightaway. Time Pollard with a bit of a gap. Here comes Mark George in that 42 car. Trying to go inside of the 43 for 2nd. They're 3 wide back here with Deaver, Smith, Gardner, Fitzwater even in that as they get back to 2 wide. Will they catch? Yes, they will catch Jonathan Zorline. I didn't even have to really answer that question. They could probably see him. I can't see it in our camera angle. But it is Dollarton and Jacobs now that clear the field. Jacobs throwing his car back to the inside line in front of Mark George. Looking for second as they come off turn 2. How much of these guys were just, how many of them were just trying to ride basically in that first half of the race? Jacobs certainly wasn't, or was he up at the front? Now having to fight. Here he goes to the inside of Pollard as they catch Zorline. Zorline blocks time. Pollard now blocks the inside line. Huge lead for Dylan Jacobs at Daytona with 7 laps to go. 6 to go, actually. Time Pollard, Darlington, George clear. Ryder Smith clears. Shelton will clear. Gardner will also clear. Fitzwater remains held behind Zorline. Deaver clears. Fitzwater able to get in line behind Deaver. But they get single file back up behind the 0-2. Darlington makes the move on Time Pollard. That's for second. As they catch Jacobs up really quick, it's going to be a 4-car fight for the time being. Time Pollard with no help, though, gets a run through the tri-oval. 5 laps to go here at Daytona. Through 1 and 2. Darlington trying to find a way to get to the 78. Jacobs trying to figure out which line he needs to block. Mark George is still in the mix. So too is Ryder Smith. And we can't count out Jessica Shelton. She's up here in the mix as well, as it still looks to be maybe a 6-car pack for the win. Deaver, Gardner need a little bit of help. Fitzwater definitely needs help. And Logan York just crossing through the tri-oval. Time Pollard maybe will look for the lead. Yes, he will. He ducks out of line as they come to the line. 4 laps to go. The top 6 all side by side. Shelton trying to take a peek at Ryder Smith. As Time Pollard will clear Dylan Jacobs for the race lead. Ryder Smith, Jessica Shelton up to 3rd and 4th. Smith wants a piece of that 78 car down the back straightaway. Gets help from the 0-2. Time Pollard still up there at the front though. Shelton makes it 3 wide for second. Deaver's back in the mix. So too is Gardner. We thought it was going to be just 6. It's still back to 8. 3 laps to go at Daytona for Time Pollard. Trying to fend off the hounds behind him, led by Shelton and Ryder Smith. Darlington makes it 3 wide on Gardner. Mark George looking for the line that he needs to be in. Dylan Jacobs, our dominant car of the day. He's stuck on the outside line. Shelton in second, down the back. Deaver clears for 3rd. Now, does the 0-2 try and just hold in line to set up the move for the last lap? Top 4 are single file. They're 3 wide for 5th. Jacobs, Gardner, and Darlington. It's actually a 7-car pack. We still don't have Fitzwater. Although whatever Shelton's plan was just got foiled by Deaver. Deaver makes the move for second. 2 laps to go as they go through 1 and 2. Deaver makes the move on Time Pollard for the race lead. 5, 6 cars lined up on the inside line. Shelton, Time Pollard, the only ones on the outside. Here comes Dylan Jacobs back to the inside of Gardner. He wants that win desperately, even if it does mean he'll start dead last. As Ryder Smith makes the move for the race lead. White flag, 1 lap to go here at Daytona. And they will have to they'll have to deal with Logan York. Who gets around the lap car the best? Ryder Smith will clear. Logan York on the outside line. Jacobs gets by. So does Darlington. Deaver, Time Pollard get held up. It's going to be a mano-a-mano fight between Ryder Smith and Dylan Jacobs. Jacobs with a run makes the move to the inside through 3 and 4. turn number 4, clears him. Does Ryder Smith have a comeback? No, he can't. Dylan Jacobs still manages to somehow win at Daytona. Ryder Smith comes home second. Shelton third. Mark George will be fifth. Dollarton got fourth. Gardner sixth. Time Pollard seventh. Deaver was in eighth. Oh, it was 8 cars because Fitzwater left it. Okay. Zorline will come across the line in 12th. That means he'll start on pole for our next race. RJ Bishop comes across the line in 10th. He'll start 3rd. But to the victor goes the spoils. Dylan Jacobs gets the win. He claims 21 points. I think it'll end up being 26 full points as well, because I'm pretty sure he ended up leading the most laps. And he will get to start last for our next race. I probably remember where it was, but I'll have to look up I'll have to look it up because I will remember when I see his sheet for it. But I do know for a fact it will be Dylan Jacobs starting last. You see the finishing results: Jacobs, Smith, Shelton, Dollarton, George, Gardner, Pollard, Deaver, Fitzwater, Bishop, York, and Zorline. You'll inverse that, so if Zorline is going to start on pole, Dylan Jacobs will start 12th. And with that, that has been race number 1 of IROC 3. 3 more races like this left to go. And we'll be inversing the field every single way. Depend what the inverse is, I will have to figure out. I do know it for next one and for the finale. I just don't remember for the third one what I had planned. But I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you haven't today for more gaming and racing related content. If you want to see more of this, make sure just to subscribe so you can see it. By the time this goes up, we'll have sign up videos right around the corner for the next season. And we'll be preparing for even the IROC 4 because this got prepared way too late in the year for what I planned to. Either way, I'm GrindFan291, and this has been a production of the NRSL. We'll see you guys next time.